This is Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, Junior Edition. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Hi, and thanks for spending part of your weekend again with us here on Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl Junior Edition. Last week, you saw our defending champs, Keith Country Day, put up 450 points. That is not easy to do, but they rolled on. They are looking to repeat. But our teams today equally have the same opportunity to put up a whole bunch of points. In fact, probably wouldn't be surprised if one of them gets close. In fact, one of them already has gotten close. It's another Catholic school battle. First, let's say hello to the St. Bridget Irish. This is year 3 for Bridget's. Irish made it to last season's finale. They lost a good one against Keith Country Day. Probably would be sweet to have a rematch, Samuel. At least that's what you're hoping for. Samuel is their captain. Introduce us to your starting lineup.
I'm Samuel. To my right is Amiel. To my near left is Lucas. And to my far left is Eric. And we are coached by Sister Mary Kay and Mr. Long.
Nice job. It's always important to throw that plug in for the coaches. Sometimes that's a good luck charm. Who knows? Nice job, Samuel. Welcome to St. Bridget's, taking on the Holy Family Crusaders. We mentioned the points that Keith Country Day put up. Well, Holy Family put up nearly the same total, 440 points in their first round, kind of making a statement. Alexander is the captain this game. Tell us who you brought with you, Alexander.
My name is Alexander Georges. I'm the coach, I'm the captain of the Holy Family team. To my right is Justin. To my left is Noah. To my far left is Eva, and we are coached by the Harps.
It's good that you mentioned the coaches, considering you gave yourself a promotion and became the coach.
I
did. Mentioning the coaches, we talked about maybe a good luck charm. Hopefully it doesn't have the opposite effect, making yourself the coach. We'll see what happens. I'm just giving you a hard time as we get things going here, Alexander. It's always fun watching you play. I'm hoping, St. Bridget's, you have fun as well. Let's get going, shall we, with our buzz-in round. The most important rules of our game, at least in these buzz-ins, is wait for me to say your name before you give an answer, and then say your answer loudly and clearly. Everybody ready to play? All right, good luck, contestants. Here we go. What president who ignored Chief Justice Roger Taney's ruling in Ex parte Merrymen controversially suspended habeas corpus in Justin?
Lincoln.
Yes, in 1863 while leading the Union during the Civil War. Holy Family gets the first points of the game. What city, whose expensive neighborhoods include Mayfair and Chelsea, is also home to Kensington Palace, Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace? Emil.
London.
That's right. And other Royal English residencies. Question for question right now. In what organ, which is followed by the duodenum, is chyme digested by gastric acid, having been brought to this organ by the esophagus? Samuel.
Stomach.
That is correct. 2 in a row for Bridget's. In what vocal range do singers perform the Magic Flute's song Der Halleraka while playing the Queen of the Night, who sings a series of very high notes in this vocal range? Samuel.
Soprano.
Soprano is correct. 3 in a row. What branch of languages can be divided into Hakka and Wu and has an officially standard form of Amiel?
Chinese.
Correct. Of Mandarin used for business in Beijing. What queen who was embroiled in the affair of the diamond necklace fled to Varennes amidst revolution and was executed in 1793? Justin.
Marie Antoinette.
Correct. 9 months after her husband, Louis XVI. What type of conic section has an eccentricity between 0 and 1? This oval-like shape is essentially a circle that has been stretched horizontally. Samuel.
Ellipse.
Yes, stretched horizontally or vertically. Name the author who wrote about Pierre Bezukhov and Count Vronsky in long Russian novels like Anna Karenina. Samuel.
Tolstoy.
Yes, and War and Peace was the other big one. Windsor, Ontario is just south of what major U.S. city, which fuels the suburbs of River Rouge and Dearborn, thanks to Alexander.
Detroit.
Yes, thanks to automotive factories, and is the largest city in Michigan. What classic board games rules are the subject of a battle between Hasbro and Merriam-Webster over what can be played on this game's 15 by 15 grid and its 8 triple word score squares? Samuel.
Scrabble.
Yes. What Spanish surrealist artist created lobster telephone and painted soft, melty-looking clocks? Eva.
Salvador Dali.
That's correct. The persistence of memory. In the 2023 movie Renfield, Nicolas Cage plays what classic literary character? Samuel.
Dracula.
That's right, living in modern-day New Orleans instead of his vampire castle in Transylvania. Lahars are landslides created by the mud type of what geologic features which may create pyroclastic flows? Samuel.
Volcanoes.
Yes, when they violently erupt. What element, which is formed by the proton-proton chain in stars like our sun or smaller, has 2 protons and an atomic symbol of He? Justin.
Helium.
Helium, that's right. Those 2 protons give it that atomic number. What novel set in Macomb, Alabama concerns Alexander?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
That's right. You didn't need any other clues than that, and we are going to move on with that quick answer. What modern country's myths describe the rainbow serpent and Captain Cook, a European who terrorized this southern nation's Aboriginal people? Samuel.
Australia.
Australia is right. Those are Bridget's points. What man who led the Kulturkampf campaign and gave the Blood and Iron speech as Minister of Prussia became the namesake of the capital city of North Dakota? Alexander.
Otto von Bismarck.
Otto von Bismarck is correct, and that is the time for the round. This is a super close game, and if my math is correct, we do not have a single question in this round that went unanswered. 17 questions in this round. That rarely happens even in our high school games. First of all, let's give them a round of applause for that. That's impressive. We're going to take a quick break, catch our breaths, and see how many more questions they answer in a row in our volleyball round after this break. What a close game today, and we are still super impressed that every single question in that first round got answered by one of our teams. No points left on the board. That does not happen very often. So here's where our scores sit. St. Bridget's in triple digits with 100, but not too far behind. Holy Family has 70. Before we get to our volleyball round, a very special thank you to Lori Beach-Grass, who is our judge today. Not only did Lori dedicate more than 30 years of teaching to Rockford Public School District 205, she's also still involved. She's in charge of the Lit Up after-school program through Kappa at Auburn, and she's helping us today. Lori, thank you so much. I'm privileged to consider you a friend. Thanks for spending time with us. All right, let's move on to our volleyball contestants. Work as a team, but the answers have to come from captains. So that would be Samuel and Alexander. And Samuel, because of the flip, you get the first volleyball question. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. What franchise's spin-off shows include Bad Batch, Visions, and one in which the title Mandalorian protects Grogu, a character nicknamed Baby Yoda?
Star Wars.
Yes. You are waiting for me to finish so you could throw that answer in there because you knew that early. Nice work. Alexander, here's your first question of the round. What men who worked and studied in a bicycle workshop in Dayton, Ohio, carried out the first powered airplane flight at Kitty Hawk in 1903?
The Wright brothers.
You got it. Boy, everybody's no nonsense this round. They just want me to shut up and give the answer. Back to Samuel and St. Bridget's. What retrovirus, which is treated by a medicine called AZT, causes a reduction in T-cell count and can lead to AIDS?
HIV.
That's correct, human immunodeficiency virus. Back over to Holy Family. What physical quantity, which is multiplied by pressure in the ideal gas law, can be equivalently measured in cubic centimeters or in milliliters?
Volume?
That is right. It's the V in the PV equals nRT equation. You got it. Back to St. Bridget. The 2010 Deepwater Horizon disaster took place in what body of water and polluted beaches on this body of water's shores in Biloxi, Mississippi and Pensacola, Florida?
Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, that's right. Can't believe that was 13 years ago. Those are your points. We're going to move back over now to Holy Family. Name the English singer who has broken into acting in films like Dunkirk and My Policeman, and who sings Late Night Talking and As It Was?
Harry Styles.
Former member of One Direction. You got it. Back over to St. Bridget's. What autumn holiday includes a special puja for Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity, and is nicknamed the Festival of Lights for its festive use of Rangoli patterns and diya lamps?
Day of the Dead.
Incorrect. Diwali, or Diwali, we would have taken that. The focus of a Classic episode of The Office, too. Back to Holy Family. The Crab Nebula was created by what type of very powerful stellar explosion, which often leads to the formation of a black hole?
Supernova.
Supernova is right. Back to St. Bridget's. Name the fantasy travel novel by Jonathan Swift in which a title doctor meets 6-inch tall people of Lilliput and 60-foot tall people in Brobdingnag. That doctor was Dr. Lemuel Gulliver, and the novel was Gulliver's Travels. Back to Holy Family. What ancient city-state, which began as a small city in the Akkadian Empire, eventually became the capital of a major Mesopotamian empire and the site of one of the 7 wonders of the world?
Baghdad.
Incorrect, but you're in that region. The Hanging Gardens were that 7th wonder in Babylon, or one of those 7 wonders in Babylon. And that's the end of our time for the round. Still a tight game, 20 points between our teams. St. Bridget's has 130, Holy Family has 110. Our lightning round will change those scores very quickly. But before we do that, a chance for you to play at home with the Bergstrom bonus question. Stick around for the answer.
In 2021, Charli D'Amelio became the first person to earn both 50 and 100 million followers on what social media app?
20 points is not much cushion in our game, and that's where we sit right now with St. Bridget on top 130 to 110. Before we get to, though, a question for worth points and change that score, how about one that's worth pizza and pasta from Lino's? That always gets everybody excited. This is known as the pizza question. At least that's what many people call it. Bergstrom bonus question. If you're watching at home, you already saw the question. Our contestants have not. Hands on your buzzers. Let me know if you know the answer to this, contestants. Pizza and pasta are on the line. In 2021, Charli D'Amelio became the first person to earn both 50 and 100 million followers on what social media, Justin?
Instagram.
Incorrect. I will finish for St. Bridget. Social media app. Amiel.
TikTok.
That's right. Nice job. You win the pizza party. And collecting followers isn't the only thing that she does. She actually earned the Mirror Ball Trophy when she and Mark Ballas won Dancing with the Stars. Pretty cool. Now we're going to take a break and come back and change those scores with our lightning round, Nika IBEW lightning round. That's up in just a few minutes. We'll see you then. Holy Family keeps closing that gap a little bit against St. Bridget's. Right now the gap is only 20. It was 30, but the lightning round will probably change those scores quite dramatically. The Nika IBEW lightning round features 3 categories, and because of our coin flip, Alexander, you get first pick. That's pretty cool, right? It's a good way to start the round anyway. The 3 categories this week are Brazil, mythical Greek punishments, or countries in Eurovision 2023.
We're going to go with mythical Greek punishments.
You got it. Seemed to be a little joy in your voice when you name that category. We'll see if there's some weird connection there or not. Name some figures from Greek myth based on the description of their crimes and the often ironic punishments they suffered because of those crimes. So your answer will be all of these figures from Greek mythology when I describe the crime and their punishment, basically. 60 seconds is on the clock for you. You run the category, it's 100 points. Alexander, are you ready for the first one? Remember, you can pass. That's advice to both teams. And then Samuel, you will have 30 seconds to get to whatever they don't get to in those original 60. Alexander, are you ready?
Yep.
Name some figures from Greek myth based on a description of their crimes and the often ironic punishments they suffered because of them. He performed 12 labors because he killed his family.
Hercules.
Correct. Her hair transformed into snakes because she defiled...
Medusa.
Correct. He was unable to eat or drink because he foolishly asked for the golden touch.
Midas.
Correct. An eagle ate his liver every day because he gave fire to humans.
Prometheus.
Correct. She was turned into a spider after she bragged about her weaving.
Arachnid.
Incorrect. She could only repeat the words of others because she lied.
Echo.
Correct. He died by a pool of water because he fell in love with his own reflection.
Narcissus.
Correct. No one believed her correct predictions because she tricked Apollo.
Pass.
He was forced to roll a boulder up a hill again and again because he tricked the god of death. And that's our time. No time to answer that. We didn't get to number 10. You got 6 of them right. You're in the lead now. You have 170 points. There's 4 left on the board for you, Samuel, and I'll read them as fast as I can. You may not need a ton of time if you're paying attention. 30 seconds on the clock. Are you ready for the first one? Name these figures from Greek myth based on the description of their crimes and the often ironic punishments they suffered because of those crimes. She was turned into a spider after she bragged about her weaving.
Arachne?
Correct. No one believed her correct predictions because she tricked Apollo. He was forced to roll a boulder up a hill again and again because he tricked the god of death.
Sisyphus?
Say that again?
Like Sisyphus?
Sisyphus, correct. He was prevented from eating or drinking in Hades.
Tantalus?
Correct. No one believed her correct predictions because she tricked Apollo. And the time is up there. That's the only one no one got. I want to point out that, Alexander, for the one about being turned into a spider, you said arachnid, which is why we could not take it. Her name is Arachne. And the only one no one got, the one that no one believed her correct predictions because she tricked Apollo, was Cassandra. There's 2 categories left now, Samuel, for you to pick from: Brazil or countries in Eurovision 2023.
Brazil.
Okay. Name the following people, places, or things related to the country of Brazil. Super simple description of the category. Same 60-second rules apply to you. Same 30-second rules apply to you, Alexander, and the rest of Holy Family. The clock will start when I give you the first one. Samuel, are you ready? Answer these about Brazil. The continent it is on.
South America.
Correct. Its largest neighbor by area, this country's capital, is Buenos Aires.
Argentina.
Correct. Brazil's capital city.
Pass.
Non-capital city that hosted the 2016 Summer Olympics.
Rio.
Correct. Most populous city named for a Christian saint.
Pass.
Its official language.
Portuguese.
Correct. Major river that hosts the world's largest rainforest in northern Brazil.
Amazon.
Correct. Natural resource produced and sold by Petrobras.
Pass.
Practice banned by the Golden Law in 1888. Brazil was the last Western country to ban this.
Pass.
Right-wing leader who lost the 2022 presidential election.
Pass.
Brazil's capital city.
Pass.
Most populous city, named for a Christian saint, and that's our time. 5 correct, you're back in the lead by 40 points, 210 to 170. So there's 5 left. You get half of them in half the time. Alexander, are you ready for them?
Yep.
Name the following people, places, or things related to the country of Brazil. Brazil's capital city.
Brasilia.
Correct. Most populous city, named for a Christian saint.
Sao Paulo.
Say that again.
Sao Paulo.
Incorrect. Natural resource produced and sold by Petrobras.
Rubber.
Incorrect. Practice banned by the Golden Law in 1888. Brazil was the last Western country to ban this.
Slavery.
That's correct, right at the buzzer. You got those points. So you're up to 190. It's a 20-point game right now. Here are the ones that no one got. The most popular city is Sao Paulo. The natural resource produced and sold by Petrobras is oil, or we would have taken petroleum. And that last one, the right-wing leader who lost the 2022 presidential election was Jair Bolsonaro. So we have a 20-point game, which essentially is one question, because each question in our next round is worth 20 points. We'll have that final challenge for you right after this. Super close game right now. A lot of people holding their breath because this doesn't get much closer other than a tie. It's only 20 points between our teams. That's one question in this round because each question is worth 20 points. So our final challenge is a buzz-in. The only 2 rules that you need to remember, well, the most important 2 rules. Wait for me to say your name before you answer, especially because the game is so close, and say your answer loudly and clearly when I do call on you. Hands on your buzzers. Good luck, teams. A spot in the final 4 is on the line. Here we go. Ishtar Terra is a landform on which planet which has thick clouds of sulfuric acid? Samuel.
Venus.
That's right. It takes 224 Earth days to orbit the sun. What U.S. state is home to Nathan McKinnon's 2022 Stanley Cup champions, NBA MVP Nikola Jokic, and an NFL team, Lucas.
Denver.
Incorrect. I will finish for Holy Family. NFL team that, go ahead, Alexander.
Colorado.
That's right. We needed the state, not the city. In calculus, the derivative can compute what quantity for a curve. In algebra, this quantity is the m in the y equals, Samuel.
Slope.
Correct. The y equals mx plus b form of a line shows how steep that line is. What mountain range, which includes Monte Rosa, the Matterhorn, and Mont Blanc, covers parts of Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Italy, Justin?
The Alps.
That's right, and France as the highest mountain range in Europe. What U.S. state whose territory was the subject of the Adams-Onis Treaty? Justin?
Florida.
That's right, the site of the 3 Seminole Wars. Tied up right now. Eumycota are called the true type of what organisms, which are studied by mycologists and make up a kingdom that includes yeasts and mushrooms? Samuel.
Fungi.
Fungi or fungus, that is right. Back on the lead. What group of British writers wrote the novels Agnes Grey, Wuthering Heights, and Jane Eyre, and are 3 sisters named Anne? Samuel.
Bronte sisters.
That's correct. Anne, Charlotte, and Emily. Tom Yu was what kind of domestic animal that were frequently mummified in honor of the goddess Bast? Alexander?
Cats.
Yes, and which were honored for their work catching mice. John Philip Sousa's sousaphone is a marching type of what instrument, which is typically the largest and lowest? Justin.
Tuba.
That's right, brass instrument in a wind band. Back to a tie game. What imperial family whose members commonly had a namesake deformed lip included Charles V? Justin.
Habsburg.
That's correct. Maria Theresa ruled places like Austria and the Holy Roman Empire for centuries. Holy Family's on top. What poem describes angels who chill and kill a woman out of jealousy and was written by Edgar Allan Poe about a title woman who lived many, Alexander.
Annabelle Lee.
And many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea. That is correct. What U.S. state, which is the home of Mount Desert Island, Acadia National Park, and the city of Bangor, borders the province of New Brunswick and has its capital at Augusta? Justin.
Maine.
That is correct. 3 in a row, 4 more than that for Holy Family. In a poem by Carl Sandburg, what city is a player with railroads, the nation's freight handler, and the hog butcher for the world? Samuel.
Chicago.
That's correct because of its position as a hub in the Illinois shore of Lake Michigan, but it's not enough. We are out of time for the round. And at the end there, Holy Family pulls away. You are moving on to the Final Four. Congratulations. The excitement on Ellie's face was worth every second we watched this game. Nice job, everybody. St. Bridget's, this is the hardest part of the game to say goodbye, but we hope you had some fun. It's great seeing you play. You're all very talented players. How many of you are 8th graders? So the 3 of you, we may see you playing for Boylan's team. Boylan plays in our high school tournament. They have a very good team, and you would be great additions to that team. And then Lucas, we'll see you back here for juniors next spring. How's that sound? Next spring, summer. Awesome. And then we hope to see you next weekend when we begin that Final Four round. Thank you for spending time with us.